Well, now that we know what career we're looking at and the college or education that we need to have in order to get that job, it's time to talk about how we're going to pay for school. So welcome to day 9, student grants and loans. So again, you're going to need to open up or pull out your lecture guide, scroll down below the career and college research to the college admission process, student grants and loans presentation. And as we go through this PowerPoint, if you have siblings that are older than you that have gone to school and they have not qualified for a Pell Grant, do not consider that to be your own solution. Okay, the more students in your family that are going to school, the better the odds that you'll all qualify for a Pell. Okay, so even if you think that you're in an income level where you can't qualify for a free education, don't discount it. There's still a lot of good that can come from filling out a FASFA. Also, if you're thinking that I can't go to school because I can't afford to go to school, that's exactly what the FASFA and Pell Grant is for students who can't afford to go to school. You can afford to go to school. You just have to take about 45 minutes of your time and fill out this FASFA. It covers tuition, required fees. It can make an allocation for room and board and meal plans, books and supplies. You manage your costs by going to school and getting like used books and things like that. You can actually make money going to school. I teach at a major local community college, and I have many of my students that are on a Pell Grant that are actually covering their cost of living and they're being paid to go to school. All right, so if you don't think you've got the money to go to school, this Pell Grant is exactly for you. Okay, it's done by filling out the FAFSA forecaster. You will need some tax information and some other things in order to complete the application. There's also some other rules that are listed here, but it's nothing that's unrealistic or unreasonable. Now, if you don't qualify for the FAFSA, there are some scholarships, free money. Always look at that as well, and they have some really unusual scholarships that you could apply for. All right, so you go to FAFSA.gov to fill out the application. You will need your prior tax returns. You will need a bank statement, and this is from whoever is financially responsible for you, parents, guardians, things of that nature. You'll need a social security number and a list of the colleges that you're applying for. Okay. Let's see. If you're a male, over the age of 18, you'll need to have registered with Selective Services, aka the draft. You do need to be a documented non-citizen. That just means that you can't be here on a work visa going to school. If you're going to be here for school, you've got to be here on an education visa. You've got to pass your classes. There is some bad things that can happen. Pell does not pay to retake a class. So if you fail it, you're going to have to pay Pell back the money for failing that class. And then when you do retake the class, you're going to have to pay for that out of pocket. So make sure that your education is your #1 priority while you're going to school. Okay? And that kind of covers the FAFSA end of the course today, at least today's version of it. And then we've got a blog post down here on called Dreamweaver. Although today's thing is all about going to college and going to that traditional route of education, we do not want to forget or discount the importance of trade schools and certificates in getting the education that you need for your career. You do not necessarily have to or would even need to, or it's the best idea for you to go to a college or university when a trade school and a certificate would do just perfectly well. That is day 9, our students' grants and loans.